Welcome, yogis. Today we're going to start with a little bit of pranayama. So if you would, just find yourself in a comfortable seat, adding some elevation if that would be more comfortable, especially with breath work. We don't want to have to worry about sitting up tall, a rounded spine, or an uncomfortable posture. So if a little bit of a lift would be better, even sitting in a chair, find that comfortable spot, and then let's bring the eyes to a close. Take a few grounding breaths, and giving yourself a moment to arrive, a moment to land and to ground your energy. Recognize where you might be gripping or holding, and see if you can let that go. Relax your lap. Rely on the stack of weight on your sits bones and elongate from your back body. We'll begin with 3 rounds of Kapalabhati breath, the breath of fire. We'll be pumping our exhales out the nose through a strong engagement with the belly. So it's a quick snap back of the navel, the air naturally pushes out, and then you allow the inhale to come naturally. Not using so much of your mental power to think about doing it, but just letting the body automatically do it. Let's try one round together. Take an easy breath through your nose, fill up. An easy breath out to empty. And then it's a sharp, short breath in the nose, and begin. If you want to try increasing your pace, now's the time. Exhale completely. Bring your chin to your chest. Draw your navel in and up, and then engage your pelvic floor. Hold. As you need to, release the root lock, drop the belly, lift the chin. Inhale. Again, hold at the top, chin to chest. A slight drawing in of the navel and the engagement of your pelvic floor. Hold. Release pelvic floor, release belly, lift chin, exhale. And return to easy breath. Round 2, Kapalabhati. You go as fast or as slow as feels good. If you need a break, if you need a restart, take what you need. Together with an inhale through the nose. Complete breath out. And then it's a sharp, short breath in. And begin. If you want to increase the pace, now's the time. Exhale completely. Chin to chest, navel lifts, pelvic floor lifts. Hold. Release root lock, belly lock, lift the chin, inhale. Hold at the top, chin to chest, slight drawing in of the navel, and the lift of the pelvic floor. Release root, release belly, lift chin, exhale. Return to easy breath. Round 3, Kapalabhati. Breath in the nose. Easy breath out. Sharp, short inhale. And begin. If you want to increase the pace, now's the time. Exhale completely. Chin to chest, navel in and up. Lift the pelvic floor. Hold. Release root, release belly, lift chin. Inhale. Hold at the top, chin to chest, navel in slightly. Lift pelvic floor. Release root, release belly, lift chin, exhale. Breathe normally. Observe. As gently as you can, start to come forward off of your support onto hands and knees. You can open your eyes if it feels right. Tuck your toes, walk your hands back to a ragdoll. Let the body hang, drape over your legs. Soft knees and a little bob and sway. Allow your arms to drape towards the earth. Take a breath in. Exhale, roll to stand, one vertebra at a time. Come all the way up, isolating the way through. All right, as you hit the top, you can move to someplace comfortable. We're going to work into some spinal waves. You might like working with this at the wall as a starting place because it's a way of isolating the movement in the spine. Sometimes we need something tangible to help with that. We'll start with a head leading wave. Have your feet at about hips width distance apart. Now from here, we're going to either be at a wall or pretending there's an imaginary wall in front of us, and you bring your head forward so your nose is touching said wall. From here, then it's chin on the wall, chest on the wall. So you notice as the chest comes forward, my head moves back. Hips towards wall, and then knees towards wall. Back to neutral. Nose, chin, chest, hips, knees. Nose, chin, chest, hips, knees. So keep on moving. Well, this can be really kind of stagnant, like touch, touch, touch. Each pinpoint, one thing going forward at a time. As you start to get more comfortable, this can turn into a bit more of a wave. So you find where you're at with it. Notice how your joints are feeling. If you feel like you want a slightly wider stance, if you need to turn your toes out, whatever it might be, follow your intuition. I find it gets easier as you close your eyes sometimes. Feel the wave in the body. Imagining this S curve. Each part of the spine affects the other parts. Do your best to keep your shoulders somewhat still. Imagining it just the spine waving through this motion. Keep your breath moving naturally. Do your best to maintain your focus. Keep your attention on the spine. Take a few more in this direction. And when you're ready, come back to a neutral place. We'll switch directions. This time it's hip leading wave. Knees first, then hips to wall. Chest, chin, nose. Knees, hips, chest, chin, nose. Knees, hips, chest, chin, nose. As it gets more fluid, you wave. Be gentle with yourself, especially if these are new. It's day by day, little by little. So it's feeling really stiff, just be with that. Go slow. Use the wall as your reference. As you build this in as a daily practice, you'll notice big changes much more quickly. It's amazing how good the body feels when the spine is free. That's why this is such a great practice to start your day with. Again, try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Just waving the spine through. Backtracking if needed. So maybe you moved away from the wall. You're noticing yourself losing that connection a little bit. No shame in going right back over to the wall and slowing it down. Few more cycles. All right, make your way back to neutral. The next movement is shoulder eights. So we're going to make this pattern with the shoulders, loosening up and freeing up all this stuff in the neck, shoulders, common place we hold tension. So we'll do it one at a time. Start with your left hand out in front of you like you're holding a plate on your left hand. Or better yet, imagining a yoga block is on your hand. We want the palm to be facing up as best as possible the whole way through this motion. So pretend you're balancing something there. Right hand can be on the hip. And you'll extend your left arm straight out in front of you. Now swing it back, keeping the palm face up, stretching through the pec, open the heart. And now we're going to bend the elbow as we weave the arm overhead. Palm still faces up. Scoop it forward, internally rotating your arm. Swim around, and then scoop it through and underneath. So now we're back at our starting place. Extend forward. Open, weave overhead. Swim it around, and back through. So keep on going. Again, quality over speed and quantity. So you go as slow as you need. If you lose the rhythm, just come back to your starting place. Palm out in front of you like you're holding something on your hand. You might get lots of snap, crackle, pops in there. So good. Be careful that you're not shorting out the motion. Keep it big. Extend the arm. Look for that full range. A couple more in this direction. All right, let's let that one go. We'll switch to the other side. So now it's the right palm face up out in front of you. Extend your arm like you have and open through the chest. Bend the elbow, weave it overhead, palm face up. Internally rotated through the arm. Swim it around and weave it through. Forward. Open. Overhead. Swim it around and through. Keep on circulating. You may notice one shoulder feels different than the other. Great information to be aware of. Couple more cycles through. Okay, let's switch back over to the left arm. This time we're going to go backwards. So you can start in that same place with the palm out in front like you had something on it. This time the elbow is going to wing out. The fingers point at the waistline. You send it back, palm face up. Bring it around. You're back in that internal rotation. Over the head, palm face up. Open and bring it round. Send it back. Swim it around. Overhead and open. Keep on going. Again, careful not to short out the motion. Keep it as big as you can get it. Sometimes when we get going really fast, that shorting out happens. So remember, it's not a race. It's more of an exploration. Couple more circles through. Let's switch to the other side. Right palm face up. As we go backwards, elbow wings out, the fingers point towards, send it back. Bring it around, overhead, open, and forward. Again, fingers point in, send it back. Swim it around, palm face up. Bring it overhead, open, and forward. Keep on moving. It's amazing, this motion, although a bit of a brain teaser, simple at its core, but still quite a bit of work, yeah? A little bit of fatigue, so we get the benefit of the mobility from all this range of motion, but also this awesome toning strength. Great warm-up to have in your arsenal. Let's just do a few more of these circles around. And then as you're ready, let it go. So you can shake out the arms a little bit. This is a fun exercise that can kind of go into different places. So as you get more comfortable, you can do both arms at once. You can start to include that spinal wave into it. You can alternate the arms. Switch directions. Right, lots of fun stuff. So as you practice more and more, start adding on maybe some of those other levels and see where you can take it. Okay, one more little circulating mobility thing. So we're going to circle the head, the ribs, and the hips. So for this one, let's widen the feet a little bit. For the head, we'll start with guardrails. So I want you to take your pointer finger and your thumb and make these little L's, and then you'll put them on the sides of your face and widen to give yourself a little room. Now, the idea is we're doing circles, like on top of the body, right, around. We don't want to lift or nod the chin, so we want the eyes to stay level. And then we've got our garters here. So start by jutting your head forward. Then bring your left cheek over towards your left hand. Send it backward. Right cheek towards right hand. Forward. So again, you could start with this real stagnant. Hitting each marker, noticing if you're circulating and instead we're rotating. So the head and the skull essentially stays level, there's no tipping. Take a couple more of these circles around, just playing with it this time. All right, and then we can get rid of the hands. Let's move to the rib cage. So now we're jutting the rib cage forward, think your cow back. Send the ribs to the left, ribs back, think your cat back, navel in, and then over to the right. Forward, left, back, right. Forward, left, back, right. Again, as this gets more comfortable, there's more of a circulating going on. Play with that for a minute. And then we'll move into the hips. So now it's big jut forward, left, back, right. Don't be afraid to exaggerate this one. Again, if the feet want to go wider, all good. You can start to make bigger circles. Play with it. All right. Let's let that one go. Let's try from the head down on the other side just to get comfortable with the movement, and then we'll take it more into a flow up and down the system. Okay, take your hands first, hit your guardrails. So now we're jutting forward, to the right, back, and left. Play with it. Getting it more cyclical if it feels right, but being careful you're not lifting your chin. And then you might also find you can get rid of the hands. So you just play a little bit. Try not to move the shoulders too much, just circle on top. All right, and then let that go. Let's take it to the rib cage. So now we jut forward, to the right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, circle around. Let's see if there's some fluidity in there. All right, slow it down, take it to the hips. Forward, right, back, left. Forward, right, back, left. Try making it a little bit more fluid. And let that go as you're ready. Okay, so now we know the movements. Let's try it in a bit more of a system. You use the guardrails if you need to. You go as slow as you need to. All right, let's start moving to the left with the head. Here we go. For 3, for 2, and 1. Move it into the rib cage. 3, 2, and 1. Take it into the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the rib cage. 3, 2, 1, and to the head. 3, 2, and 1. Switch directions to the right with the head. 3, 2, 1, into the rib cage. 3, 2, 1, into the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the ribs. 3, 2, 1, and into the head. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so that's one set up and down. Let's do 2 more like that. To the left with the head. 3, 2, 1, into the ribs. 3, 2, and 1, into the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the ribs. 3, 2, 1, to the head. 3, 2, and 1. Switch directions to the right with the head. 2, 1, into the ribs. 3, 2, and 1, into the hips. 3, 2, 1. Back to ribs. 3, 2, 1, into the head. 3, 2, 1. Last round to the left. 2, 1, into the ribs. 3, 2, 1, into the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the ribs. 2, 1, into the head. 2, 1. Switch directions. 3, 2, 1, into the ribs. 3, 2, and 1, into the hips. 3, 2, and 1. Back to the ribs. 3, 2, 1, to the head. 3, 2, and 1. All right, let that go. Heel toe your feet back into hips width. Take a walk towards the top of your mat. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale to hinge and fold forward. Half lift. Ground your palms, step back, plank pose. Come down halfway, chaturanga. Up, face, lift the heart. Down face, hips high and back. Take 3 breaths. Rise to your tiptoes, bend your knees, walk or hop, top the mat. Half lift and fold. Rise up, sweep the arms. Hands to heart. Twice more, inhale, reach. Exhale, bow forward. Offer your heart. Ground the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga. Up face. Downward face. 3 breaths. High tiptoes, bend the knees, walk or jump. Flat back. Fold. Rise and sweep. Hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Hinge and drape. Extend the spine. Ground the palms. Shoot back, chaturanga to up dog. Pike it back, down dog. 3 breaths. Lower your knees as wide as the mat. Sink your hips back. Take a child's pose. Rest your forehead down and soften your elbows. Ground and observe. Start to walk your hands back towards your knees to sit on your heels. This would be a great opportunity to move right into a seated meditation practice. Otherwise, closing out with just a little bit of mindfulness. So even if it's just a seat for a minute or two, or a traditional corpse pose laying down. I hope that your body is feeling good. I hope your mind is feeling clear. Enjoy the rest of your day or your evening. And thank you for practicing. Namaste.